Well, let's turn next to my qualitative book, The 30 Essential Skills for the Qualitative Researcher. The first edition of this came out in 2015, and then my daughter, Joanna Baez, is the co-author with me on this, and we put together a second edition in 2020. Unquestionably, this is the most practical book. It came out of teaching that introductory course in qualitative research, not finding a good book for me to use, taking my notes from each class and turning them into chapters. And I had my graduate assistant sit on the front row in that class, and I had him write down every question that a student asked during and after the lecture. And then I would take those questions and pose answers and put them into the book. So it's practical from that standpoint of including student feedback all the way along in all the chapters, and in bringing in my own personal examples of how I've done qualitative research. For example, I have an interview guide or protocol in this book. So I give you the best example that I've known of how to put together an interview guide for doing a one-on-one interview in qualitative research. I think this book is really aimed at the person who is beginning qualitative research. So as I travel around to the different Asian countries and I give presentations, I recommend looking at this book. I take the reader through the coding process using one of my own examples, a step-by-step procedure on how to code a transcript. I say also, read this introductory book first to establish a foundation for qualitative research, kind of a descriptive thematic approach. And then go to the 5 approaches for a more intermediate discussion of qualitative research. In fact, the very last chapter of this book talks about the 5 approaches. There's the next step. But learning the foundation, the core ideas of qualitative research is what I hope to accomplish in this book. And bring in, it's unquestionably the most applied book that I have written.